Alright guys, so I want to show you something. So how to get this reel replaced because I was having issues with my other one. So I got this Okuma Inspira. It's a ISX and it's a 3000 series. So I got no line on here, but I have line on this reel here. And so I want to transfer this line to the new reel. So I have a little short bumper that I have tied onto this. It's just enough that I can tie it onto the arbor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to loosen this spool so that way I can just easily pull it, right? And we'll get it looser than that here in a minute, but for now that's plenty. So I'm going to run this through the eyelet, come down, and then we're gonna flip the bail open, and then I'm gonna tie a Orvis knot in this just because it's a small little knot. Works out good for these. So I just like the Orvis knot for a bunch of stuff, honestly. It's a great knot. So try to tie this up real quick, and then we'll show you the rest of the process. So I mean, it's pretty simple. For a long time, like there was a while where I used to always take my reels in and have them serviced, or not have them serviced, but have them spooled up by a shop. I did that for a long time, and then yeah, eventually I just decided that there wasn't really a need to do that. So we're gonna stick that on here, tighten that knot down nice and good, trim off that tag in. Let's see, where's my clippers? Okay, so we trim that. We're gonna tighten the knot back down. This is a knot that can back off, so just tighten that down onto there. Get it good and snug. Okay, so we got that. Flip the bail and start a couple wraps. Now what I'm gonna, oh man, sorry, I didn't know my clipper went over the camera there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to loosen this drag even more on this one. So we want it so it's just super loose. There should be just the perfect amount of line on this other spool to transfer over. So I don't really want it to drag on that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hold this line like this, and I'm just gonna reel off of that other reel onto this one. Oops. It's okay, line's still coming out. Just keep going. Should be about there. And done. Perfect. So, perfectly spooled right to that lip. So, now, in just that short amount of time, we have it spooled up. And so now we're going to do the next step of finishing setting it up. So I already have a rig pre-set up here that's attached to the top section, and all I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this bumper section and gonna tie an Alberto knot. So let's see if I can do that real quick here. Okay. So you make a loop in the line, bring some line through, that should be plenty. So I have it set up like this, if you guys can see here. I like to hold this side and then wrap with my fingers around. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we got 7 wraps. Now we're gonna intersect these wraps going back up, just crossing over the ones that we already did there. Just kind of making it look like a DNA strand almost. Okay, so now we come back out this side, but I do one extra loop through this. I don't know, I just feel like it holds a little better for some reason when you do that one little extra there. And now we're gonna pull the tag ends and wet it, and then we're gonna just pull everything together nice and tight, and then you should have this clean little union knot there. So we'll trim this up. Get my little clippers, trim that pretty close. Same with the other side, trim it pretty much as close as you can without hitting the knot. So now we have this set up, and this is a jig setup, and I'll go over it real quick with you guys. So I have 40-pound braid, and I use Suffix 832 braid for this. And then I have a 15-pound bumper of Maxima Ultra Green coming off of there. We have 2 nylon stops right here, which I'm going to tighten these today just to make sure they're ready. I always leave these little bit of a tag in. Some people cut them super short, but I always leave a little bit of a tag in so I can grab it. So we got that 15-pound bumper, and we got that coming down to a little glow bead with a little glow corky 3/8 ounce float. And then I have another bead below it, and I have this little plastic stopper. So the stopper there is so hopefully that if it did break at the knot for some reason, this is a Palomar knot that I tie on the top one. If it did break here, then hopefully this would keep the top with my float and everything still intact. So I got a little 1/4 ounce inline weight on there, and then I got 12-pound fluorocarbon leader down to the jig. So that's the setup for that. Pretty simple, quick and easy to change the line from one rod to another. Didn't take long, and now it's ready to go. So we just got to set the drag, got to check this drag pressure here, probably a little tighter. And now the drag thing, it's kind of just a feel. Some people like it real tight, some people like it loose. It's really a personal preference, but when you're fighting these fish, you'll definitely find that there's a time that you're going to need tighter drag. So we're going to pick up the little mess that we made here. All right, get this back in the box. Don't leave your trash behind. Perfect. All right, guys, and now we're gonna go fishing. Got to get out the other rods and head to the river. So this spot right here, I don't know if I'm gonna fish it. I might go take a look down here and see how many people are here, but there's like 6 rigs here, so not so sure. I just mostly came to use this bench to set this up. I figured it would be the best place to give you guys a quick little run through of this. I got a little tip wrap going on up there. But yeah, so we're gonna dive into the fishing for today and see if we can't get one.